let's go over now entering cells, ranges, named areas and tables as function arguments. So first off, let's create a named argument so we can use it later on. Well, we have the areas, but they aren't associated with specific data as we want to use it right now. So let's just cover this area and name it score. Enter. So it will always go over the score area. Okay. So this example demonstrates using both single cells and range references as well as a named area and table as arguments. For example, we use the sum function. Here is how to use the insert function dialog box to enter the functions and its arguments. Okay, so what we want to do is use the sum function. Let's go to the insert function and let's search for sum. Press go. Here it is. Why are we going this way? Well, this way actually allows us to enter more data that we want. So first thing you want to do is in the number, just select a number, or maybe let's just type in perhaps 10. Okay. And this is how you enter simple data into the number arguments. Then let's maybe choose the score argument, and as you see, the score argument, after we just typed it in to number 2, associates itself to the area that we gave name. So the score is, as you can see, from 12 to 23, and it's correct. So what else can we put in here? Next we will put in this number 3 area, we'll put in the area from the score 2 part, and let's mark the numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so you can see that Excel put in the address from F6 to F12. And the last part, just to show you how it works, sum works just and only on numbers. So if I would, let's say, try to put in some letters, it will show me this argument, but when I click OK, it will show us an error. So just to show you, the formula result for now is 257 because it won't associate the letters. So let's click OK. And the reason for this is that the areas that we are using is the number 10, the score table 2, and it actually works on the name area, but please note that it doesn't count letters as numbers. Just to prove it, let's maybe erase this area. Press delete and see the number doesn't really change, even though we had letters associated with it. Okay, let's go back. So your next exercise is to work on the sum. Please, anywhere in the table, just push insert function, find the sum, press OK, and use three different types of arguments. One is please enter a number. Second is please use an area that you have previously named and put it into number 2. And the third one will be some area just marked by yourself. And please show the result in the cell as you can see in here, which is G4. Let's delete this one just to not lose focus. Okay. Let's explain a few more things in the sum edition. Let's go back to the sum. Let's click OK. OK, and now I'll explain a few things here. First off is this button. The function argument dialog box is open. To the right of each number box is a small fancy button, a special Excel control, sometimes called the ref edit. It allows you to leave the dialog box, select a cell or range on the worksheet, and then go back into the dialog box. Whatever cell or range you click or drag over the worksheet is brought into the entry box as a reference. You can type cell and range references, named areas and table names directly into the number boxes as well. The ref edit controls are there to use if you want to work with the mouse instead. So, by clicking this button, you can see that the box actually shrinks, allowing you to see better the entire worksheet. So after pushing this button, the area marked inside the box is chosen, so you can simply go to the worksheet and select the area you're interested in. For example, let's choose the score and then push this button. You can see it being actually named the score and also using as the area you chose. So let's push it again and choose a different area. And you see the table name score 2. This allows you to view the data in a better way. But let's choose a simple one, just this one. So here you see the simple address. Over here, Excel actually chose the table 10 score and table 10 score 2. This makes it much easier to navigate in these windows. And let's push OK. So please do the same. And after you do, please note that, well, congrats, you did your first function. You successfully inserted a function that took a call reference, a range reference, and a named area. And of course, a table name. You're harnessing the power of Excel. Look at the result, the sum of many numbers. This is actually the use of Excel, found in various parts of the worksheet. Just imagine how much summing you can do. You can have up to 255 inputs, and if needed, each one can be range of cells, which is limited only to the worksheet itself. You can use the insert function dialog box at any time while entering a formula. This is helpful when the formula uses some values and references in addition to a function. Just open the insert function dialog box when the formula entry is at the top where the function goes. So, what about editing these functions? Excel makes entering functions with the insert function dialog box easy. But what about when you need to change a function that has already been entered into a cell? What about adding arguments or taking some away? There is an easy way to do this. Let's click the function we have, then click the insert function, and you see that we're back to the function arguments window. This dialog box is already set to work with your function. In fact, the arguments that have already been entered into the function are displayed into the dialog box as well. So, how to add the arguments? To add an argument in the function, if the function actually allows this, use the reference edit. So, simply click on the lowest one, and you can see the next number appearing, allowing you to enter more data. This is the easiest way to add the data. To edit an argument, simply click into it and change it. So if I would change the this argument, which is the score 2 window, I would simply write in 5, and this should change my formula result. To delete an argument, click into it and backspace it out. So let's just do that. And when you're done, simply click OK to save the changes. You see Excel showing a new result. So please do the same with your function. Delete the score 2 part from your Excel and add in some random numbers. When you place your entry into the formula bar, the entry is really going to the active cell. However, since the active cell can be anywhere, you may prefer entering formulas and functions directly into the formula bar. That way, you know that the entry will land where you need it. Prior to entering a formula in the formula box on the right side of the formula bar, the name box on the left lets you know whether the entry will end up. The cell receiving the entry may not be in the visible area of the worksheet. It could be a million rows down and thousands of columns to the right. After you start entering the formula, the name box becomes a drop-down list of functions. This is useful for nesting functions. As you enter a function in the formula box, you can click on a function in the name box, and the function is inserted into the entry you started in the formula box. Are you confused right now? Well, imagine what I went through explaining that. Seriously, though, this is a helpful way to assemble nested functions. Try it. Get used to it. It will add to your Excel knowledge. When your entry is finished, press the Enter key or click the little check mark button to the left of the formula. So let's use this in our current sum function. It's basically just operating on the data we have over here. You can mark any area you want, so let's say the number 10, and simply working over here. So let's change it on to the number 5. And prior to changing the function, let's just mark Enter. You see the number changing from 220 to 115. You can also change the areas, and you can see that over here we have one empty slot. That is because we removed the data from the number 3 slot in the sum function, but we did not actually remove the slot itself. Some function allow this, but please remember that other functions will see this as an error. So for the next exercise, work on the second sum value you have that we made. Maybe change the last value, which is the J11 right here. Change it to empty cell. Yeah, change it to an empty cell anywhere you want. And then use the Enter button, use the Cancel button, just to see how it works. And let's go to the third option of entering formulas. It's probably the simplest one. Simply inputting them into the worksheet into the cell itself. So let's try this example. Just click the cell where you want the formula to be entered. Double click on it. As I said, please remember that equals is the beginner for each and every function. So let's use the math equation. Let's say 6 plus 45 minus 36. Press Enter, and this shows your formula. You can also use more complicated formulas, as per se when you write in the equals number and start naming the function we want to use. So let's say sum. You see Excel trying to tell you what what functions you can use, what formulas you can use, associated with this word. This is very helpful when you don't really remember the name of the function. You just remember, let's say, a few first letters because they can be really long. It also associates the name of the area you used beforehand, so it shows in the first place. So if you just put in the score one and push Enter, it will show you the result of this area. So let's put in sum and begin. Let's open our function this way. And then let's maybe choose an area, the score area, and then an apostrophe mark just to divide these ones from one another. This is how the function shows over here. And choose the result from our previous work, and let's shut down the function. So after writing something like this, please Enter. and you see the result. So do the same, choose the score area and the result of your first equation. Just to be sure you understand everything that happened here, let's use a different function right now. So write in equals and min, which is the minimum. This function returns the minimum value from a group of values. As soon as you enter the type n, you see the value, you see the function actually showing up. Minimum is completed and provides the required syntax structure. Not much thinking involved, is it really? So let's just put in the number, and you see it actually asking me the numbers I want to put in. So let's choose the area and close it, push enter, and you see the smallest value, which is correct, number 12. So this is really helpful for you to understand everything, so please do the minimum as well as the maximum value. So I guess you probably know what will happen here. Let's choose this area, close it, and you see the number 23. So please do the same. I will, just for you to remember, you have to do this one as one exercise and do the minimum and the maximum. While working with the formulas, sometimes you see it working really hard for you. Well, what I mean is, what if I wanted to see only the value, but after I put in enter, it would show me the formula instead of the number? Well, options like this you have in the option file tab. So let's go to the file, options, well, maybe a bit too fast, file, option, yeah. And you're in the Excel options of the entire Excel workbook. This, if you save these changes, though, they will apply to all of Excel files you use. So please note that everything you change for everything. Okay, so what you want to do is go to formulas, and here you see the options you have for the formula tab. First off, you have the calculation options. You can change the workbook calculation from automatic to manual. So if we push the manual one, it will, before it will recalculate, it will ask you if it should do it right now. We will leave it as automatic because this is very helpful. Also, working with formulas, you have different options over here, like formula autocomplete. So if you put in a formula, Excel will provide you with the proposed answer to the end of the formula. Error checking, so the Excel checks errors, and if there is any error, it will indicate error using by a color. Error checking rules, these are different rules for each and every error that happens. Well, please note one thing, if it's regarding errors. We used the sum function before in here. So as we use the letters in the sum function, let's talk a bit more about types of errors that can occur in Excel. Actually, only two types of error can occur in formulas. In one type, Excel can calculate the formula, but the result is wrong. In other type, Excel is not able to calculate the formula. Let's check out both of these. So let's do some basic math. For example, you want to do this one, equals 5 plus 3 times 20 plus 25, and let's divide this by 5. Well, the result is wrong, obviously. But what is the reason for this? Well, you need to select the proper writing of the data. How so? Let's do this again, but this time let's let's advise some sections for each data. So first section for 7 plus 5. And this actually makes Excel think to add the data inside. and then and only then use the next formula times 20, and let's leave the rest at the same. Well, the answer is still wrong. How so? Well, that's pretty simple. Let's use the 3 plus 5 again. That's pretty simple because we use the proper formula in the beginning, but still the mark over here, the plus over here, Excel doesn't see the difference of the markings in here. So it doesn't really know which formula to use first. Next, let's do a different one. So I will just copy the formula from before. But this time, let's do it differently. And enter. You see that the result being actually different each and every time we use the section. So what would be the proper use? Well, let's use a different one also this time. This will be also wrong, but wait, just to be sure. See the result being different each and every time. Well, all of these are valid formulas, but the placement of the parentheses makes a difference in the outcome. You must take into account the order of mathematical operations when writing formulas. Well, the order is always the parentheses and then the exponents. Then the multiplication and division, and adding and subtraction. This is very important because you use math on your daily basis. Even though this is very basic, this has such a huge impact on your work. This is a key point of formulas. It is easy to just accept a returned answer. After all, Excel is so smart, right? Well, wrong. Like all computer programs, Excel can only do what it is told to. If you tell it to calculate an incorrect but structurally valid formula, it will do so. So watch your data, and please remember, rather than your parentheses and mathematical operations when building formulas. The second type of error is when there is a mistake in the formula or in the data the formula uses that prevents Excel from calculating the result. Excel makes your life easier by telling you when such an error occurs. To be precise, it does one of the following. Excel displays a message when you attempt to enter a formula that is not constructed correctly. Excel returns an error message in the cell when there is something wrong with the result of the calculation. I will explain more regarding the errors in functions in the next lesson. So for now, this is all. So thank you very much, and I hopefully see you in lesson 5, and please save this lesson as lesson 4. Thank you.